Hey guys, hope you're keeping well. So the energy today on the 12th of May, got the month correct, was it April? That's me. It proved to be quite intense leading up to now. And I'm sure on one level or another you feel that intensity. So what most people aren't aware of is that everyone is feeling that feeling on one level or another. It's just that humans aren't that transparent or communicative enough to express what it is they may be going through within their own mind, in their own personal relationship with themselves, their life, and hopefully God. And recently there's been this energy that's pushed over and pushed through and blanketed over earth, which is like this feeling and presence of God, death, life, like strong feelings along those lines that get us to think along those lines. And so what people don't realize is that the earth collectively are feeling it together. Like they're consciously feeling it, but nobody's really paying attention to it within themselves or within others. But since the last 3 years ago, we've gotten used to sharing the same emotions and feeling them on like an international, global level. Because we're all in one pool of energy. And so, if the general feeling and theme around Earth is very depressing, self-serving one, humans on a subconscious level will be tuned in that energy which influences and creates that lifestyle. So now what's different is some very divine things are taking place here on Earth. Some very divine energies are being introduced. But with those energies come certain intensities. Because these are such high energies. So, because they challenge the general energy that Earth has had for however long up until now, it basically challenges everyone on one level or another. And so that process within people can appear to be and feel to be quite uncomfortable. For these mirroring energies, we're all like mirroring each other's energy on one level or another, basically. And it's like an ocean, and we feel the motion of the ocean. If the ocean is smooth, it feels smooth for everyone. If it is chaotic and choppy and bumpy, well, everyone on one level or another may feel that. Now, you just don't happen to be aware of that because nobody else speaks about it. So because they don't speak about it, you may notice it and then you don't pay attention to it because you think, oh, well, maybe it's just me. But if you look on a very detailed and fine level, you'll be able to see the subconscious energy in which it is that people happen to be in. Like for now, everyone across Earth is feeling this sort of very somber feeling of almost being checked and humbled by many ideas of life and death and God and so forth and so on, which are very important things to be happening here on Earth now, because they get us into certain states within ourselves that lead towards a certain new birthing of ideas and behaviors and thoughts within us. So these energies are coming, and they may feel pretty intense sometimes, but just know that it's all transitory and will come and go. But the purpose of them is to feel them and to learn what you can from them, right? With your own mental reasoning capability. Determine what all these energies mean, how they can help you grow, how you can grow from them, how you can grow with them. And when you learn to develop this mindset and this attitude, then you're less jarred. It's easier to stay calm and be at peace and go with the flow. So on a big level, we're feeling like all this. It's so unbelievable how connected we are. People don't notice it. Like if you're conscious enough, you can see like people are running all on algorithms of their own life, their own beliefs, their own ideology. You know? Because every person is their own matrix of ideas, beliefs, etc., memories. Your own spirit, your own being. You have your own reality within you. You experience your own reality. So because of that, it's your own reality, your own existence, and it can be termed as a matrix. Having certain ideas and certain this and that, and your own behavior and your own patterns and this and that. What you stand for, what you don't stand for, what makes you upset, what makes you happy. Now everyone's got one of those. You got to remember that, and they're all different. Okay. And everyone tunes into all these hobbies or whatever the case may be. Those are all like different matrices in themselves. Like each community can be a certain consolidation of beliefs, ideologies, and values that you'd happen to find within people. Therefore, we'll describe it as a matrix, like a certain behavior amongst people, a certain level of acceptance towards certain things, and so forth and so on. So all these matrices affect each other. Your matrix affects somebody else's matrix. Somebody else's matrix can affect your matrix. They can tap into and tune into any other matrix, whether it's of information, culture, freaking whatever it is people are so totally interested in and formulate their identities off of, which then becomes like an ideological belief, thought, behavioral matrix ultimately. And so everyone's searching in this world, you know? Matrix is just a smart way, not even smart, it's just a more contemporary way of just explaining reality, like this realm, how this realm works. You're in your own bubble of energy, and everyone's got their own bubble of energy, and they've got their own signature based on their own consolidation of thoughts, beliefs, values, ideas, memories within inside of themselves. And that consolidation creates, with their soul on the deepest level, creates a unique signal and signature which is emanated off of them. That signal can basically influence somebody else's matrix, right? Whether you're manipulating them or you're just telling the truth. Okay, and manipulation is very bad. Please understand that. Neurolinguistics, programming, dark psychology, secrets, and all shit like that. That shit is bad. It's not good at all. Number one thing you need to use is truth. You know, truth. So it's just some people here distracting me. But by emanating the truth, your signature emanates that truth. So that truth can influence people to behave the same, in alignment in their own truth, authenticity, purity, so forth and so on. Okay, it's not manipulation. It's not like I'm creating a false picture of myself in order to present that towards someone to create a certain reaction. No, instead what I'm doing is I'm emanating truth. And in doing so, you know, being absolutely transparent, that has its own influence on people. Because we're all, so you can basically detect if someone's probably lying to you or not lying to you, right? Because of these unique signatures that people give off. And these unique signatures that each of these people have is dependent upon their energy memory matrix, which is basically their memories of emotions and different mental states in which it was that they experienced when they were younger. Because you go through all states of mind, all states of energy. And these emotions, what we don't realize, are like all-encompassing energies. Like they affect so much. Like you have no idea. Hello. You too. So basically, your signature is dependent upon all the energies that you've experienced throughout your life. So different states of mind that you've been able to access throughout your life. Okay? Now, what we don't realize is that there are states of minds, states of energy that we haven't yet experienced or accessed, that we can. Because just like in your life, you experience many different evolving and alternating states of mind throughout different experiences, and each time you may have been able to push the boundaries of that certain emotion within regards to how much of it you're able to feel. Okay, that energy. So it does evolve, it does grow. We do become more aware of new energies, or I guess when we emotionally evolve, we evolve our relationship with that emotion and the things that may cause that emotion. And then therefore we sort of transcend that, like that energy state to a higher energy state, and therefore we start accessing a new, higher, more refined version of that same emotion slash energy. Right? So we can access these really, really divine states of feeling and mind, because your mind basically influences your feeling. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your ideologies, whatever you're pumping through your mind every day, and how it is that what you believe and how it is you look at the world, that determines on a huge level, like if you're tense or if you're free. And then with your uniqueness creates your unique energy signature. Okay, and you're either emanating intensity or calm or peace. And some people may feel to be more comfortable to be around or less comfortable to be around, depending on the erratic nature of their own energy, which is always reflective of their own internal state and the thoughts in which it is that are processing through their mind in order to lead them towards feeling those sort of energies which they happen to be emanating of themselves. So we can access super duper high states, like super duper divine states of mind and energy within inside of ourselves. So ultimately what I'm saying is you're able to access new feelings, like way more enhanced and heightened feelings. Now this goes both ways, because you can enhance the vividness of fear, or you can enhance the vividness of faith, and that total freeness, or that total like fear and constriction and, unable to move feelings. So these feelings are determining so many things within us. Because if you're able to access, let's say for 5 seconds or a split second, a certain high level feeling that you never felt before, it will basically immediately change your perception of the world from that very moment that you're feeling that feeling. And then you will ultimately step into like a new zone of consciousness, and therefore immediately experience your reality differently. Because when your consciousness changes, your experience of reality changes. Okay? So our consciousness up until to date has only been able to experience certain levels of feelings, because humans aren't really taught or don't know how to access certain high level divine energies. If that was the case, there would be no violence or anything here on earth, because everyone would be in a completely blissed out state of reality, and the light spectrum in which it is that they're able to perceive would actually increase based on being able to access that frequency. Because you see, each emotion is a frequency. You have to remember this. So when you're using thoughts, let's say your focus or your intention, whatever you're focusing on, which paints a sort of emotional, energetic, vibrational picture in your mind that you can even feel by just using your imagination. And so these energies in their own right are like their own realms, their own constructs. And so if we keep being only aware of certain limiting energies and emotions, then our imagination will never ever evolve past that point of what it is we've been able to feel up until now. So if humans don't, you see, when your capability to expand your ability to feel more richer, more detailed, higher energy feelings and emotions, what ends up happening is, everything changes. So it's hard to describe. I'm just trying to think. When you access these really high energies, oh yeah, your imagination expands. Because for the first time, you're feeling like it's completely new feeling. And that feeling from the get-go determines what sort of picture you end up painting in your mind, therefore altering or enhancing your imaginative capability. Because your imagination will only be as good as all the emotions you've ever been able to feel up until now. Because if you think about each movie, each song, they come with a certain emotional bandwidth, a certain energetic feeling bandwidth. So even the music we happen to listen to now, it's only at a certain level of emotional evolution because humans are only at a certain level of emotional evolution. Humans have not figured out how to bypass the human condition of psychological pain and suffering, ultimately, because they're not aware of these high level realms of consciousness and the fact that their own consciousness can access these states, and within accessing these states completely reprogram and build your character, you know? Because if you don't experience certain high emotions and energies, they'll either determine whether you feel more hope or less hope. You know, even hope is like, in its own right, a certain energy and emotion that you can feel at certain levels on a spectrum. So you can feel more hope or less hope. You can feel so much hope. You can feel so much love. You can feel so much happiness. Like, it doesn't end, right? But the way in which we learn how to access these higher states is by focusing on like divine heavenly realms ultimately, and God ultimately. I'm going to tell you the straight truth right here, right now. Because like with yourself, you'll only be able to access certain energies, but with God, you'll be able to access, it's just like God's your lifeline. Like you'll just be in certain meditative states or whatever, you'll be able to access such a high level divine feeling. And then that becomes the goal, to continue to keep using your awareness in these meditative states to focus on new things and God, for instance. And by feeling that love and energy, if you keep doing that, what will happen is your ability to feel it will increase like crazy. And your brain and everything will actually evolve and adapt to these new energies that are now circulating through your body's vibrational field. Because as soon as your body's vibrational field is altered, then the physiology in your body will then be altered as well. Right? So if you refine your light body, your consciousness light body, right, through being able to clear throughout all the clutter in your mind, in order to be able to ensure your ability to be able to consistently be able to access very high enlightened states of consciousness and being and experience of reality right now. And as you're able to do that, you're able to master reality. And what better way to do that than to access God? Because you are blind, humans. Don't be so arrogant to think you don't need God. And don't think that you can access certain levels of reality without the help of God. If you do believe that, then good luck. Let me know how it goes. But I will say this. When you can access to God, you'll be shown energies unlike anything you can imagine. And that will expand your soul and your spirit and your light body. You see, because your light body is dependent upon your consciousness, your electromagnetic field that literally makes up every aspect of your body, right? Is literally dependent upon your consciousness. As your consciousness changes, and let's say changes different states or whatever, so does your electrical field of your body. And that's why when we are in certain states of mind or whatever, or certain levels of stress, we get sick or whatever the case may be, because our consciousness is literally affecting our body's electrical field, which is determining each and every single aspect of the conductivity of health within our body and our being. In order for a body to become sick, the mind must become sick. Okay, and sometimes our minds go through certain fluctuations and changes and alterations in energy, and that reacts as a certain level of transitory sickness within our body. So we have to purify our mind. As we're able to purify our mind, we're able to purify our experience, our energy, the energy that's emanating through the light codes of our electromagnetic field of our body that literally plays a directly important role in every single aspect of your body, okay, on the greatest level and detail. If you were aware and conscious enough, you'd be able to see how many things within your own consciousness and mind and your vibrational field, in terms of unique signature you happen to be emanating from the energy you are giving off. If you're aware enough, you'll be able to see where in your own energy, within your own consciousness, these things happen to be taking place and manifesting within your body in the form of pain, stress, tension, headaches, whatever the case may be. So, we perfect our mind. That's what we do. But the best and easiest way to do that is focus on God in order to access these higher level divine feelings. Once you access them, your imaginative capabilities will increase amongst a divine energy slash trajectory slash wavelength. And then all these things will be introduced into your mind, your consciousness, and your body's electrical field. That what your body's electrical field would have never experienced before until then. Because your body's electrical field only experiences whatever emotion it is that you've happened to feel throughout your entire life. So if you've never been able to feel certain levels of bliss, joy, and happiness, then your electrical field will never experience that level of encoding within it. But most people don't realize that you shouldn't need a reason to be happy. It's like, this is the ultimate hack. You don't need a reason to be happy. If you can figure that out and understand what I'm saying, and realize that you have nothing you need to wait for in order for you to begin to be happy. I know it sounds quite hard and crazy for some people, but just think about what I'm saying for a second. Why are you waiting to be happy? Why are you waiting for something to fucking happen before you can just be happy and be here now? And be here right now? Why do we wait to be able for things to happen in order to experience such high ascending levels of joy and happiness within ourselves? You see, because we wait for things to happen in our external world, we block off our own ability to keep expanding upon the path and trajectory and feeling and states of mind of that happiness would provide. We are in our own mental prison created by our own design that's literally prevented our own selves from not being happy right now. And the last time many people may have felt happy is when they're a child. And what you'll find is when you're able to do this and access these high-level divine energies, you'll begin to experience emotions that you would experience as a child, that would remind you of times in which it was that you're happy. Your brain's frequency will actually somehow be able to reignite those old frequencies and emotions that you felt very long ago that you may have forgotten about it, but the moment you feel it, it takes your memory straight back to when it was that you experienced that emotion and that energy. So when you're able to continually focus on God and continually focus on bliss and pray for that and allow that to come within you and keep expanding your mind and your beliefs to give you every single reason to believe that you can be happy now. You don't need to wait. And as you're able to do that, you're able to experience more, you're able to hack into and experience more and more levels of happiness and bliss within inside of your own mind. So the chemicals within your own mind and your own body completely change. Not only that, the electrical field of your entire body changes. Now your body starts evolving to start adapting to these new electrochemical releases that are happening within your brain that have never happened before. Every single state of your brain's physiological development is dependent upon the thought processes in which it is that you've incurred and the different emotional / electrochemical states that your brain has experienced. And that each and every single vibration of thought that happens within your mind determines a new neural pathway within your mind, crafting and molding your brain in each and every single second. So if we're able to expand and enhance our brain's capability, our mind, our soul, its capability, what we're able to do is literally evolve. Because once your brain starts experiencing new emotional brainwave states that it's never felt before, you start getting new neural pathways and new electrochemical releases taking place within your brain and in your body that have never happened before. Because as I've explained, like you've only experienced electrochemical releases relative to every single emotion and state of mind that you've ever experienced in your entire life. And as I said, you can experience joy infinitely. You can experience happiness infinitely. You can experience a sense of peace and comfort infinitely. But it all depends on our ability to focus on them, imagine them, and basically create them within our reality. Because your thoughts and your imagination creates energy. And that energy translates to you in the feedback system of your mind in the form of emotions. Right? Giving you feedback of the quality of your thoughts. So if you're not feeling too good, that's just your brain's way to give you feedback of the quality of your thoughts. Basically saying, hey, all this negativity is not healthy for you. Here's the feedback. You don't feel too good. You feel tired. You feel low. Your body's communicating with you. It's telling you right then and there that these thoughts you're having now are not good for you. You don't feel good. Here's your warning. Here's your feedback. So, we have an energy field. We have a soul. We have a spirit in this body. This soul and this spirit's oscillation of energy is dependent upon the predominant emotional states in which it is that we're able to stay within. So if we haven't been able to reach past a certain point of happiness within our own mind, that will be the certain level of our own energy up till then, right then and there. Okay? So your energy field would also only evolve to a certain extent based on what energies you've been able to create within your mind. When you create energies within your mind, you create energies within your body. You have to remember this. Like when you're getting electrochemical releases in your brain, you're getting electrochemical releases throughout your entire body at the same time, right? So everything's changing, your entire electric field, your entire energetic field. And in life, you either have more energy or you have less energy. Okay, and that energy is heavily dependent upon your psychological state. Because if your own thinking process and your own beliefs are feeding you into states of fear, then you end up draining your own energy. And you end up having less energy because of that. So you need to overcome fear. But how does a mere mortal overcome fear without God? When you can incorporate God into your reality, and when you can experience these heightened energetic states, you will see, your whole reality will change. Not like, oh yeah, this and that, no, like fucking, you're literally the way you're experiencing this moment now, like a fucking beautiful, pristine dream, a scene in a dream. Because as we're able to access these higher levels of divinity within ourselves, reality begins to become more dreamlike and less heavy, not weighing us down so much, you know? So if we're able to continually keep evolving our state of mind, we're evolving our state of experience, we're evolving our state of reality. This is how you shift through this realm. Okay? You're an energy being, an energy consciousness being. And it's all your emotions that are creating the energy deposits within your body. So you have to learn how to master your emotions. Because if you can get yourself to create within your own mind extremely positive and enhancing and evolving emotions, that means your consciousness and your energy field will evolve as well. And every day we evolve as we become more conscious and more aware of our surroundings. The more conscious you become of your surrounding, the more light of your area and your soul is switched on and turned on. And then therefore you evolve to become more conscious and more aware of the many subtleties that may exist within reality. So you're evolving every time you're expanding your awareness and you're expanding your consciousness. But how can you expand your consciousness and your awareness if you're not going within and achieving these new higher states of mind within inside of yourself, and then learning how to be able to do that within a waking state. Like my brain right now is like naturally pumping so much DMT and serotonin and dopamine in my brain right now. I feel a new state of energy that I never felt, that is familiar to past memories of being a child, but also like new because it's like now. So it's a sort of evolved energy, evolved consciousness, emotional state. And because of that, I'm starting to feel all sorts of things take place in my body, a certain coolness within my head, a certain level of energy within my body, less cramps. You know, cramps are also energy. Tension within your body is energy, emotional energy stored within your body. So we have to find ways to introduce really high levels of light and love and divinity and God within to our mind / our body. And then we will heal on such a level beyond your comprehension. If you could see the electric field on your body, you would see literally, like I can see, you would see it change. And like sparkle and freaking glitter and stuff. Like there's so much light that the human eye cannot see. But when you keep becoming more conscious and aware, you start being able to see more of this light that's available within this hidden light spectrum that's hidden from our eyes. And you'll notice that it has a relationship with your emotional state and your energy state and your consciousness state. And then you begin to see, you connect to the Spirit, the Holy Spirit. That's what I call it, okay? But it's this pure white spirit that you'd see everywhere. And that white spirit / light on different levels of intensity creates a different like triangular light spectrum effect, which creates higher levels of color-based light from that white light. Okay, so as this white light, which is the baseline of all life and all consciousness, the essence of the void, the Spirit of God, basically, based on your consciousness and your awareness, determines how much of that light you're able to access, the Holy Spirit. The more of that light you're able to access, then the higher light you're able to see within the light spectrum. Because as this white light increases different levels of intensity, it also increases its level of crystallization, or like, you know, if there's like a water droplet on the phone and that water droplet makes all sorts of rainbow colors, like basically like that rainbow, crazy, beautiful, divine rainbow spectrum with different varying levels of this white light becomes more vivid, I guess. Because this white light, through consciousness, creates this other spectrum. So basically, like in our so-called physical reality right now, we've got this 7 color spectrum. So because we have a certain level of this white light, this gamma frequency light, Holy Spirit light available to us, because we're not so spiritually connected at all. We're so connected to our 5 senses. Okay, but when you start like meditating and accessing these realms of divinity within inside yourself through God and etc., then what happens is, obviously you start secreting more DMT within your brain. Naturally, your hypothalamus system starts to heal, so does your endocrine system, and that affects every single aspect of your body and your life. And then you're able to see enhanced light spectrums, ultimately. And those light spectrums are dependent upon how much of the Spirit of God / Holy Spirit you're able to accept within your own mind, consciousness, and light. And as you're able to do that, that completely washes away everything within you, your current level of programming and conditioning, and heals that away and pushes that away, and then pushes you into like a new divine light / aspect of yourself that you are yet to experience and haven't experienced yet. And as you're able to experience that and stay within that mode / energy, your consciousness and brainwave state continues to keep evolving. Your electrochemical releases within your body evolve. The relationship of electrical and information transmittance between your hypothalamus and endocrine system, it all evolves. Your whole entire body evolves because it's all utilizing an electrical nervous system in order to transmit this electromagnetic light / information throughout our body. So, as you're doing this, you're literally evolving. Because now, for the first time ever, your brain's going through a new pattern of electrochemical releases. on a higher level / higher bandwidth. So now your brain's operating at a newer, unique brainwave frequency in waking states and in unconscious states. So that's what you do when you increase your awareness and you increase your consciousness. But you've got to ask yourself, well, what do you want to increase your awareness and consciousness of? Because that will determine very much your experience. And I would say if you focus on divinity and God, then you will introduce that into your consciousness / awareness / energy. And then you can try to do it yourself in any other way, but I promise you now, based on everything I've seen and done, there's no higher way to reach such high level energies than without God. And then your brainwave states will change. Everything, the way everything regulates within your body will change. It will evolve. Like, we don't realize this. Like, our consciousness is continually evolving, and therefore so is our body. Our consciousness heavily affects our body. Heavily. Our consciousness, and the consciousness of others can also heavily affect our body too, depending on how much of a vibrational relationship we have with someone else's energetic memory matrix, based on how much time we happen to spend around them, which will determine the influential subconscious coding of our light field, based on the light which their consciousness and energy field happens to be emanating within their field. So if you spend time within someone's field, your electrical fields will start actually matching in a way. They'll start to sparkle off each other and create some sort of telepathic synergy between the electrical field / energy field / consciousness energy memory matrix. So this is super beautiful knowledge, because it helps us know that we don't have to experience continually feeling stuck and enabled to have new memories and energies and experiences and states of consciousness within our own being and our own life. This opens a doorway of possibility to show you that there is far more for you to experience through the portal of your own imagination, through the portal of your own mind, through the portal of your own soul. And through our focus, we determine what energies it is that we happen to create within our own energetic field. Whatever you're focusing on will determine what energy you're creating within your energetic field. Okay, so if you're focusing on some useless bullshit that's pissing you off and blah, 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 you're immediately going to start creating that within your electrical field. Like, immediately. Like, someone would be able to, like, I'd be able to feel it if I was sitting around you. Like, oh, what's happening to you? You know, so we don't realize this, but we are far more telepathic than we think, because of these electrical fields, right? Because you can pick up energy. And when you become more aware and you become more conscious and more wise in terms of interpreting certain energetic states that may be emanated from people around you, then there tends to be this unconscious level of communication that humans end up creating within inside of themselves. So humans have been very much asleep, because we're so unconscious towards so much stuff. For instance, just your life, just like standing here right now and being totally conscious towards energy space, the consciousness space, the energies around you, the energy within your body, all the sounds, and not having to think about it, but be able to just be here right now and just take it all in far easier than you would without having that continual nagging mind distracting you and taking away your attention from these super high level states of being that are able to access and unlock new levels and states of energy within inside of ourselves. So are you more aware or are you less aware? Because if you're less aware, it's going to be a lot more easier to become a lot more impulsive and let go of your own behavior and just freak out and whatever. Because when you can become more conscious and aware, and able to actually change your own emotional states based on what new things you're learning to focus on. Like, for instance, I'm giving you 2 suggestions. Try focusing on God and divinity on the highest levels, the kingdom of God within inside of your heart, and try to feel a certain level of love and energy. And as you do that, you will create it. You will immediately create it within you. You know, a lot of people want love within this world, but what a lot of people don't realize is that you can generate love within your heart. And you can generate unbelievable levels of love within your heart that you've never ever experienced before. Because usually, in terms of our ability to feel love within our life, we'd usually have this whole criteria of reasons as to why it is that we shouldn't or should give less or more love to whoever. So when we can actually, we realize that we can actually stay within our own heart, and actually, if you focus on God or focus on all beings here across earth, and really focus really deeply on that feeling of love, you will be able to see that you will be able to experience new higher levels of love each and every single time you do that. And every single time you do that, you will evolve your ability to feel the full richness and expanding, evolving richness that a feeling like love would be able to offer you. So you can feel unlimited love without needing anyone to give it to you. But God, I mean, you access it within inside of yourself. And I've done this. I've felt such incredible things. You know, some of the stuff I can't really explain. But what I'm doing is managing and perfecting my energy field, amongst other things right now, which is very important in the times we're in, because things are quite chaotic and stressful, and a lot of people are in a big crisis of where it is to put their attention, where it is to put their focus. And that's determining what emotions they're all going through. So in the beginning of this video, I discussed how we all share the same subconscious emotional state. And if there's more terror on earth, we all feel it. If there's less terror on earth, we all feel it. You know, if people are calmer and more at peace within their souls and bodies, we feel it. On a certain subconscious level, we do. Because we share the same reality slash energy slash field, you know, of life. We share it. So what you need to do in this time is not get too caught up on the intensity of the world's feeling, because we do feel that too. We feel that. And don't confuse it too much with you, you know. And try to rather not keep your focus on that, but direct your focus. Become the director of your focus. You need to direct your focus. They say, oh, you've got to be focused. Focused on what? You know, why are we not focused on certain imaginings within our mind in order to use that focus to determine new states of energy and states of being and states of awareness within inside of ourselves? Yes, focus, but what are you focusing on? Because what you're focusing on is going to determine which energies you're able to access within your own body, your own mind, your own emotions, your own consciousness. And you're either accessing low, more limited energies, and that's where those energies are going to stay, and those memories are going to stay for the rest of your life, or you're going to open your eyes and your heart up to the possibility of being able to feel so much more than you've ever been able to feel before. And as you're able to do that and experience and make those breakthroughs, reality will change and enhance and evolve, and so will your awareness and consciousness too. Evolve your reality, evolve your mind, evolve your awareness, evolve your energy, evolve your emotions, evolve your ability to direct your focus into directions of energy in which it is that you prefer to feel, that can teach you how to expand your ability to feel far more enlightening and higher, beautiful feelings than you ever felt before, by programming that into your subconscious field and your subconscious thought programming. The subconscious thought processes that take place within your mind, become the master of it. But in order to master it, you need to master what you're focusing on throughout the entire day. If you're focusing on some negative bullshit, take your mind off it. Focus on something that's so utterly divine beyond your comprehension. Focus on things you're not aware of, that you want to be aware of divinity, of heavenly realms, of God. And that safety and that peace that comes with that. And as you're able to do that, you're able to code your energy field to be able to access those realms and states of reality, right? Through God, your lifeline. And that comes into you, and then you start getting these beautiful feelings that start coming in your mind, coming into your reality, changing how you are on such deep fundamental levels of energy, of emotions, of behavior, of your patterns, your choices. You'll have new choices. You'll have new ambitions. Ambitions and choices that are aligned with such high levels of divinity within consciousness, within inside of yourself. You must master your consciousness's ability in order to be able to explore the full range of consciousness experience within reality. And you don't need drugs to do it. Although a little bit of weed doesn't hurt. But what you really need to do is just focus. Practice your focus, master your focus. Focus on higher levels and realms beyond your consciousness and awareness. If you want to become aware of them, then you need to focus on them. If you don't focus on them, you won't be able to experience them. You'll never introduce that into your emotional energy states, your brainwave states, your body's electrical field. You are the master and the captain of your own heart. So you must master your focus. You must be the captain of your focus. Focus on stuff that's so high and so beyond. It's so magical, it's so divine and so miraculous that you're able to sneak your way into experiencing emotions and states of consciousness that you may not even believe exist. Do that. Try it for yourself. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm here to tell you what your mind is capable of and what experiences await you when you choose to come into contact with God, with these higher realms, these heavenly realms, with a divine order, with divinity, with peace, with love. You'll never know until you focus on them yourself and find out for yourself what experiences and realities and truths and evidence that provides for you. You never know. You know, it's funny, in reality we got like music bands called The Doors. We got shows about homes, sitcoms and whatever, Full House. All of these things, get your house in order. Well, your house is your mind. In a dream interpretation, whatever house you're in will determine your mind, your state of mind. So your mind houses your soul. Well, not really. The soul is your mind in a way. But we're able to evolve our mind to be able to experience more of our soul. You understand? To be less and less victims of our mind by accessing our soul and having those high levels of energy within us and our soul reprogram our mind. Our mind will change. The way you experience your mind will evolve. As it has been, just by you growing older. As you grow older and gain more awareness, your experience of your mind evolves and changes. So the question is, well, how much can we push and direct in that evolution of our mind, the state of our mind, the state of our energy, the state of our consciousness, the state of our feelings, the state of our emotions? Because that determines the state of our life, the state of our experience on such deep fundamental levels. So they cannot be overlooked. Because our consciousness, our energy determines everything. More than you'll know. More than you might care to believe. And just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. There's so many things beyond your awareness. So many things beyond your consciousness. But you can use your consciousness and your awareness to see them, to access them, to become one with them. And then you'll see doors open. Some doors that only your access connection to God can open. You can try open as many doors as you want and you can see how that works and do that. But if you ever feel curious, try to see what doors God can open. Within your mind, your awareness, your consciousness, your existence, your state of being, your life, your destiny, your purpose. You can rely on yourself, mortal, or other mortals to guide you, or you can not be so foolish and look a bit higher. Look far higher, beyond mortal perception, into realms of divinity and purity and divine order. Divine order that ensures eternal peace and eternal life. That Earth is starting to transition in towards, which is why it seems so chaotic and reckless and rough as it seems to be on Earth right now. And we seem to be going through such gyrations and oscillations of energy together on such deep fundamental levels, to the point where we don't even realize it or talk about it. Everyone just mood changes across the entire Earth. And nobody notices, the humans' mood's changing. Oh, all their moods are changing now. Oh, look, their moods are changing. It's like an ocean. Once you become more conscious and awareness, you don't only become more conscious and awareness of your own mood, you become more conscious and awareness of everyone else's mood, everyone else's energy. And then you begin to see, a pattern, wow, connectivity. The emotions, the ocean of emotions is flowing. And if you're conscious and aware, you'll begin to notice and begin to see. And most people that are flowing in these unconscious emotional states become prisoners of their own mind because of their own lack of awareness. Awareness that never ever guides them to be able to see certain layers within their own mind and their own consciousness and their own formulation of their own identity. And they may not be able to evolve their character beyond any certain points of behavior inside of themselves. But everyone can evolve. No one is stuck. But it all depends on how willing it is you are to accept new ideas and to be able to focus on them deep enough in order to be able to experience them. Because there's no point just having an idea if you can't experience it. Then it's just an idea. So all these things I speak about, you need to be able to experience for yourself. And from my experience, this is what's happening here on Earth. Our bodies and our minds are switching on a level that hasn't really ever happened before. Because Earth's civilization's consciousness and awareness has never reached this level it has today. When we look at the information/technological age in which it is that we happen to be in, as well as all of the massive amounts of philosophy and literature and the accumulation of all that knowledge all the way from the past up until now, which has created a certain level of enhanced awareness amongst people to certain levels. But some humans are most certainly not aware and still stuck within a blind program, an algorithm of fear running their lives. Being so totally zoned and stuck into this reality, unable to feel any divinity or miraculous nature of reality in this realm. This realm/matrix begins to seem very stuck and fixed and tends to have no magic and so deterministic and awful and cruel. But for those that are ready to open up their hearts, to feel that there's a lot more than meets the eye, will be then able to begin to experience more of the miraculous divine nature of the reality in which it is that they happen to exist within. It just depends on how far your blinders are set. Because everyone on earth is born with blinders. And those blinders determine our perception and hide things from our perception. Humanity on earth here has never really developed such a high level of awareness and consciousness and knowledge of God and divinity. So we've never experienced the energy that would emanate from each individual/the entire earth. And we haven't yet experienced the choices and actions and decisions that would come from those energetic states, which would create the psychological evolution of people from that point. If you're feeling more happy and light and whatever, you're going to have a totally different spectrum of decision-making ability within inside of yourself, because you're not going to feel like totally stressed and whatever the case may be, and that's determining how you're making choices within your life. If all that stress and everything just goes away, the way in which it is that you read your life, interpret your life, make sense of your life, and make choices within your life, that begins to feel more free, right? If you're not so totally stressed and weighed down, then you don't feel so paralyzed by your choices or your ability to make them. So these energies determine every aspect of human behavior. And so, because as a civilization, we've never reached that collectively, that level of conscious awareness of such high level energies that I happen to be speaking about, slash ideas, slash imaginings that create certain consciousness energetic states, which would completely change the behaviors of humans on all fundamental levels. The behaviors of humans today are completely, totally dependent upon everything that's occurred up until now. Right? Our media, the advertising, the way of life, the economic system, everything. But that is only at a certain bandwidth. And humans are yet to discover so much more. Because we've just come out of slavery, we're attempting to come out of slavery. The state of consciousness here in humanity has always felt quite constrictive because of our history, our very violent and oppressive history all across Earth, which breeds violent and oppressive people and violent and oppressive circumstances and violent and oppressive decisions that are made. And right now we still have slavery today, don't get me wrong, but humans have never felt a desire and a need for freedom more than they have now. And because of that, I believe it's leading them towards God. Many people are turning to God because they're getting tired of relying upon their own imaginings and the imaginings of others. Because it's getting them nowhere and it's getting nobody nowhere and everything seems like a complete and total mess. And it most certainly doesn't seem as though any answers in which it is that you want are going to come from humans. And because of this peculiar time in which it is that we happen to be in and all this crazy, insane stuff that's taking place on so many levels, it's got a lot of people shook. It's got a lot of people being more hyper-aware towards certain elements and aspects of their life in which it is that they may have not paid as much attention, focus, or awareness towards before. So on some level or another, humans are developing an increased level of awareness and consciousness through the events that have quite recently taken place. And the fact that Earth is sitting on a very, I would say, intense, hypercritical, super uncertain state of energy that everyone happens to be feeling because nobody really knows what's going to happen next. Right? And because of that, people are taking a lot of time, and that's guiding and influencing people into changing their focus. And they may begin to focus on certain ideas of God and life and virtues and principles and the importance of family and so forth and so on. Because people are just becoming more aware, more of their own behavior, more aware of their own behavior, more aware of other people's behavior, more aware of their own existential need to find out certain questions and the answers to these questions. And this is a side of that humans have been avoiding confronting within themselves for so long within civilization. Humans have never confronted this within inside of themselves before, on such a level as it's taking place today. So because of that, that changes the entire mode of reality of life around you that you're going to find when you come into the presence of humans all across this earth currently right now. And because of that, many tensions exist alongside this, whether it's wars and rumors of wars, so forth and so on. So simply put, everyone's stressed out, and that stress is getting them to think in ways that they've never thought before. And that, on one level or another, is increasing their awareness. Whether that's a good or a bad thing, we will find out. But in order to ensure that it is a good thing, we have to use, when your awareness increases, that's great, but it's really good to direct that awareness and direct your focus and direct what it is you're becoming aware of. You know, don't become aware of stuff that's, I mean, it's good to become aware of everything, but don't get hooked on stuff that you become aware of that gets you to go into some sort of meta reality and create some sort of narrative within your own mind. Try your best to just go into the perfect, pure state that God offers through our spirit, the sacred hearts that exist within all hearts. Go within that state, stay within that state, emanate and create it throughout your body. Change, evolve, and adapt your brainwave frequencies towards this. And continue to keep evolving and developing your consciousness states within your waking consciousness state. I should have wanted to read. That's how you evolve yourself. That's how you evolve your consciousness. That's how you evolve your ability to gain control over your emotional states. Or at best, make the most of them. Make the most of negative emotions. Transmute them. Find the value within them. Evolve and expand them, and then therefore recode your relationship to them within your conscious and deep subconscious levels. And this is what you're doing. You're reprogramming yourself on a very deep subconscious level so that you no longer become a victim of your own fear-based subconscious autonomous behavior, the patterns that we tend to repeat within our life. You no longer become a slave towards the cycles of your own mind and the cycles of your own life. You can begin to affect those cycles yourself and bring them to cycles of happiness and love within your brain. I say cycles because I'm referring to frequency. And the higher in frequency we're able to go, the more heaven we're able to experience right now in this body. And just think about it. If I put so much fear in your body and just pour it into your body, what do you think will happen to the physiology of your body? Do you think it will have a reaction to all of that fear coming inside of you? Do you think it will affect you on all sorts of levels? Okay? The answer is yes. So what happens if I put unbelievable, amazing divinity and love and purity and pour that into you? Then what will happen to your body? Do you think you'll feel super duper pure and divine and light and full of energy or not? Do you think your body will change because of that or not? Of course it will. When you pour such high level divine energies inside of yourself, your body will be nourished by them. The same way your body can be destroyed when we pour destructive thoughts and energies inside of ourselves. So let's not destroy ourselves. Let's heal ourselves by accessing higher levels of purity through our constant focus on that and God, to be able to access these high levels of purity and consciousness within our own waking state in order to reprogram this to become our predominant brainwave state, so that we're no longer a slave towards triggers within our own psychological field, and therefore do not become a victim of certain cycles and patterns in behavior. And that's how you master your subconscious, by becoming conscious of it. And then by changing what you believe in your subconscious. So subconsciously you may feel like, oh, there's no God and the earth is so fucked and everything's so screwed. And on a really deep subconscious level, you may feel that in all sorts of ways and not really pay attention to that. And that will create your energy. That will affect your train of thought on a regular basis. So on a subconscious level, you can see how something like that can program your behavior without you even knowing it. Just want to read a comment here. Loving this flow of thought, didn't want to interrupt your flow, but want to let you know I'm here and enjoying listening while I work. Love you, Jesse. Thank you, Paige. Love you lots. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you for the comments. So, this is how we do it. And I can tell you now, if you want to access real high energies, you're not going to do it without focusing on God. It's that simple. There's a divine order. That's what I believe, that's what I've experienced, that's what I've seen. I constantly keep focusing on this every single day. I'm accessing new states of energy and emotion within inside of me. Still managing and mitigating it. It's not completely perfect, but I'm still able to access high levels of consciousness states that I've never really accessed before. And they're becoming more consistent the more you continue to make sure to focus on certain high-level divine thoughts. And that's why I take as much time as I can to lie down and meditate and just connect to God directly. Because through God, that's like access from here right straight to like different higher heavens, and that energy that you're supposed to get, that you as mortal wouldn't know what energy you need to introduce into your body to completely heal your energy field, right? When you connect to God and that comes straight into you, then it's like such high level divine energy that you're now introducing through your consciousness and through your energy field. Okay? And one thing I learned about magic is that sometimes you don't need to be able to understand how magic works in order to believe it exists. Sometimes you will understand it, sometimes you won't. Sometimes it's just pure faith, man. But you'll never know unless you try. You want to experience these really high divine energies of the kingdom of heaven? Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That, for me, presents a whole new energy now, from what I've seen and experienced and studied over the last 10 years, of being introduced to these realms through God over the last 10 years. Introduced to new, like completely new things that I've never seen before or experienced. That throughout the years, I painted a picture of like higher realms, you know, which I've always been extremely focused and preoccupied on. And what I know and what I've seen is that heavenly realms do exist. Heaven exists. 100%. And the state of consciousness in heaven is like, it's so pure. Like you don't feel like you've felt your entire life. You feel like so pure and free and enlightened by those feelings. And so that picture in my consciousness giving me these new feelings and emotions and energies and states of mind and consciousness were given to me throughout the years, which helped me expand my own awareness and my own consciousness then to learn how to access those same energy states that I experience in different dreams and visions in this waking state, just by simply focusing on them. And to my surprise and joy, I found that my assumptions were correct. As you're able to access these high level energies, your body changes. So you become lighter and freer, like you'd feel in like a really divine dream. Because everything is determined upon your consciousness state, right? So everything in your body will be influenced and determined by your ongoing and persistent and predominant consciousness states that you experience, right? And that's either gonna have blinders on you or not. You can't take the blinders off. There's so much more in reality. But there's a divine order. And there has to be. Because if there wasn't a divine order, like Earth's pretty chaotic now, but if there wasn't a divine order, there'd just be no hope. There would just be pure universal chaos and no order. If there's no where to go and evolve past death or in life, then that takes all the meaning and purpose out of reality. And when reality loses and humans lose meaning and purpose, then disorder is created. Because there's no divine order of consciousness, thought, or reality. So heaven, Helios, Earth, you know, these things exist. And everything that we have today has been put in place to show us where this is all leading. Because Earth is going through shit that Earth has never gone through ever before, in terms of consciousness, awareness, and the energy that comes with that. Because energy is actually created by consciousness and awareness, by the way. Which is quite funny. Your consciousness and awareness creates energy, or can take energy. So Right now, this state of energy that Earth's in has never been experienced before, ever. And it's evolving, but there's some really high energies coming in. This white light I was talking about, which is, you see so much more in these higher realms. Everything looks like so pure and like just this beautiful living light everywhere. And you don't feel how you feel now. You feel like completely light, like you're in a light body. You don't feel any weight or heaviness or anything like that. So what's happening now is we are accessing those bodies through our awareness and consciousness. But I guarantee you now, the only people that focus on God and do what I'm saying are the only ones that will be able to actually experience these energies, higher level divine energies. It's the only way. And then, really good idea to do, guys. Really good idea, because when you do that, and you bring that level of faith and relationship with and reality of God in your life every day. Hi God, how are you? You access higher levels of energy you would never access on your own. Never. And it exists like that for a purpose. So there's no freaking chaos through people just deciding to do whatever they want with whatever bright idea they may have within regards to it. Therefore, not coming into contact with their authenticity and purpose and soul's purpose. Created and designed by God, and we either reach out to it or we don't. But when you do, protection is granted over your life, and it leads somewhere. There's progression and meaning and purpose within everything, and all answers are revealed. So this stuff's beautiful because I see it right now. Like right now I'm seeing energy everywhere. Like I'm seeing lights and colors, and I have been for 10 years. So, and now it's like at an all-time high. This is why I have so much knowledge of what it is I'm speaking about. And because in reality I can't really speak to anyone about this, I just tend to speak about it a lot in these YouTube videos. But from what I can see and the changes that have taken place in what I'm observing and able to observe, and the experiences I've had and the increasing the nature of these experiences, there's big stuff happening on Earth on huge energetic levels. And because of it, humans don't really know how to deal with it. They all feel it. Because I watch everyone's moods and emotions, and I watch the energy that I see. And as I've explained before, based on your consciousness state will determine the state of the energy in which it is you happen to be observing. Quite interestingly enough. So, it's beautiful, it's magical, but it's going to get pretty chaotic. But there's going to be divine order and divine retribution that shall take place. Because right now you'll notice like everyone's so totally in their head, and they're thinking about God and all sorts of stuff like they've never thought about it before. Because they've experienced certain levels of fear that everyone's experiencing at the same time, magically, for what reason we don't know. And it's getting people to like be more calm and reserved now, and a little bit more cautious and optimistic. I don't know, cautious and how do I say, having more empathy and compassion. The fear of God is such a beautiful thing people don't realize. There's a verse in the Bible that says, "He will delight in the fear of the Lord." And I always wondered about that until I saw people be humbled by a fear in God, and all of a sudden they're changing. It's like this huge change in their behavior, and it was like all the bad things about them were like healing and healed because of this fear in God. Because, you know, you should love God, but you should also fear God in order to respect God, because it's like the universe, reality, the ocean, like the ocean. You may love the ocean, but you got to also like respect it and understand that you can lose your life to the ocean. Right? So humans have forgotten this, and there's no order within their mind because of it, because there's no God, there's no consequence at all. So there's no order within their own mind. And because of that, there's no order anywhere in reality. There's just disorder everywhere. Because no one's connecting to the correct order, which is the divine order, which is accessed through your own consciousness and awareness and your own spirit. So it's not like you can't experience it. You can. Everyone can. And sprinkle, sprinkle. So, it's amazing. It means it's all true. 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 If it exists, God exists. That's a good idea to connect to Him. Because shit's about to get wild. And if you can rely on your own senses and your own knowledge, don't want to rely on the potential reality of God, well then, good luck. Good luck. If you don't have God in your life, good luck. That's simple. You won't bend the knee to God, good luck. Humans won't bow to God, good luck. Because shit's about to get fucking biblical. As if it isn't already. It's so biblical. Anyone who says it isn't, they're lying. They don't have two eyes. They don't see. Don't be one of those people. Because we can feed ourselves all sorts of nonsense all day long. Let's try to see if we can get some lightning. I don't know how much time I have power left, that's all. By the way, who's watching now? That is my train of thought. That is my presentation, guys. Thank you. That is my presentation. Thank you very much. I love you long time. But yes, guys, that was my presentation. I don't know how all it went. Me. Yeah. Oh. But that's it, guys. It's about to get biblical. As if it isn't already. It's a total fight between principalities for earth. Where do you think the kingdom will take place? It says, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And throughout the Bible it speaks about the kingdom of heaven being created on earth. Throughout the entire book. And now you got these crazy divine energies coming in. And people are feeling super serious, like, ooh, people are more vocal about God than they've ever been before. Think that's a coincidence? No. God works in mysterious ways with consciousness capability beyond any mere mortal's comprehension. And certain things have been allowed to take place here on earth. And here we are in the story now, where divine retribution is ultimately required. That all the signs of the prophetic timeline have come to be. In a book that has managed to predict things for the past couple thousand years, throughout those years, which cannot really be taken for granted. And neither should the potentiality of God existing, because that may determine the very well-being of your own eternal soul. And I remember somebody asked me what I said. I can't imagine anything worse than death. And I said, oh, well, there's far more worse things than death. And her eyes opened up. There's far more worse things than death. Don't take that for granted. Not a good thing to take for granted. Because shit's getting biblical, guys. Some real almighty stuff happening. It's blowing people's minds. Nobody wants to talk about it. But everyone's coming to God because they feel it. Like on social media, on TikTok, whatever. Like everyone's speaking about God. You think that's a coincidence? I don't think it's a coincidence. I think there's a reason for that. Divine reason, divine purpose. I believe in divine reason and divine purpose. I believe in these things. I've seen so much divinity in my life. I've come to start to learn about divinity. Divinity exists. People just don't understand it, haven't experienced it yet. But it's the magic that makes sense of all the randomness within your life. When your life seems to have some sort of synchronistic, divine story and web of patterns and events that may have occurred throughout your life. And if you happen to be more conscious of, you'll be able to notice a certain level of divine timing and divinity within your life. There's a reason for everything. Everything has a purpose. And everything happens for a very good reason. And I'm very grateful because I get to experience all of this. First-handed. I'm pretty fucking excited to be alive right now. Are you kidding me? Get to experience all this? Yes. I want more. Way more. Because there's so much more to be experienced. This party hasn't even begun yet. All the signs of it have come. But this party on earth hasn't even begun yet. So, the delicious. So yeah, I should create like a professional sandwich shop. No, I'm joking. I don't care that much. Thank you. It was a good pasta. I pounds about it out like a 7. But yeah, it was a good pasta. Wow. This is so good. I have a basil pesto. My mom gave these fresh peppers. Oh, it's a basil chili pesto. My mom literally makes the best chili that I've ever tasted. I haven't told her that. Some mayo. Wow, how's that little mukbang? Okay, that was all the serious stuff. Oh, so serious. Let's have some fun. I think we're meant to have fun. We're meant to have laughs and joy. But it's supposed to be within reason, you know? Can't be coming with some sick sort of culture and society that has no divinity within it. Or no awareness. You know? My dirty fingernail. Sorry. I live on a farm. I love living here, by the way. It's really good. And I spend a lot of time. This is my work right now. I have some other stuff I gotta do. Very important stuff. Big stuff. But my work right now is moving energy, you know? And transmuting energy on earth and throughout consciousness and learning about it. It was a great talk, just brought me peace. Super proud of you. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Peace is always good. Oh, damn. Anything that brings you peace is good. The more peace you can feel, the better. So keep focusing on peace. And there's such beautiful, peaceful feelings that exist. Oh, that you can evolve and expand and experience in such richness. And it's so amazing. It's pretty freaking heavenly. You can experience heavenly stuff here on earth. That's what I have to say. You can. But you got to focus on heavenly stuff in order to feel heavenly feelings. In order for your life to begin to become heavenly. Oh, wow. That's not so heavenly. I don't know why, yeah, that's not so heavenly. But hey, man, I want to feel it. I want it all. I want all the divinity, all the love. I want all the peace. I want all the Bible. You know? And I want the magic and the miracles, baby. I love magic. I know magic. But I can't teach it. Yet. There'll come a day. But I'm still learning it myself, actually. That's also why I can't teach. I'm learning. But energy, baby, wow. Consciousness. Well, there's so much to reality that we're unaware of. And it's beautiful. And it makes me so happy. Because it makes my life so damn interesting. Every day. Like, you know, I could be all depressed and shit because all this shit happening, which I was. But I kept focusing. But it was still cool though, because I was experiencing such insane stuff. It's like changing my mind and my spirit. I've experienced so much stuff. So much magical stuff, dude. And it's so amazing. Like, magic exists. I never believed magic existed. I always see it and be like, oh. I never believed it existed. Until somehow I just ended up searching for it. And found God. And through God, I found all this magical stuff. It's blown my mind. Completely changed who I am as a person. On so many levels. I never expected to know what I know today. I never expected to have experienced what I've experienced. It's so far beyond anything I imagined. This is what I do. I study this. It's my job, and I create it, and I bring it into my life and the lives of others. Because there's going to come a time where it's needed. Because as I said, Earth is, if you can anticipate the future, you'll be able to see Earth is in some pretty serious times. So, but I think it's something to be so excited about. Because of what I've seen. Like these realms merging into Earth. It's so beautiful. Reality will change on so many fundamental levels. And people will begin to see things that they never ever believed or imagined that they'd ever seen. And I know for certain that's what's going to happen. And is already happening. And will increase in its frequency and intensity as it continues to happen. And the whole entire collective subconscious of Earth will be affected by that on deep levels, which will change the behavior of humans on all sorts of deep psychological levels, therefore changing their behavior and the outcomes that will take place here on Earth. But there's many things in which it is that no mere mortal has been able to calculate or anticipate. If they had, they'd be raising an alarm now. If they knew what was possible in reality, and what's happening, they'd be doing things a lot more differently. But it's happening. Welcome to the apocalypse. This is the most amazing time to be alive. The electromagnetic field of Earth is going through some amazing stuff, baby. And everything is changing on an extremely deep and fundamental level. And soon again, you'll be able to just put it this way. When the realms and dimensions and the curtains lifted, because it's slowly lifting. But when that fucking curtain's lifted, baby, many humans are gonna freak out. Oh shit! Didn't expect that. Ooh. Amazing. Didn't expect that. going to be some terror. I mean, when I explain what's going to happen, like I'm talking supernatural shit beyond your wildest imagination. What begins to happen? It has already been happening. For those who've been paying attention, that are not that asleep. And magic exists, baby. Sure does, honey. Trust me, you don't want to disservice yourself by not believing in magic, sugar. Wink, wink. Magic. Imagine. Do you dare to believe? Or do you want to stay stuck in the same little boring belief box / matrix for the rest of your life? And experience the limitations that has to offer. Or you'll eat a Red Bull and see how far the rabbit hole goes. And trust me, the Red Bull is way more exciting. Because the rabbit hole just doesn't stop. It goes on forever, baby. Eternity is a long time. It's real long. I love you guys. See you soon.